your friend in the wood chipper there, or
It's Craig in the wood chipper. He doesn't record correctly.
oh no, so we're all choppy.
I don't know. Are we? But bump.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. All right.
Wow, he took a long time to show up. Is he still drunk on eggnog?
I'm still drunk on eggnog.
I think Chris is. He was here. Craig was here immediately after I told him to
No,
record.
it was like a minute and a half. Whatever.
Craig, yeah, he's not even looking at you. He's just doing his job. Anyway, we're the Grumpy Dungeon Masters. I'm Jay, here with my co-hosts Christopher, Christian, and Dan. Say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Hello there.
Yeah, whatever.
And it's our final episode of the year, our New Year's episode, basically.
Hooray!
Yeah. So before we get into the mix of things, Christian, where can they find us on social medias?
You can find the Grumpy Dungeon Masters podcast on Apple Podcast or on Spotify or wherever else you get your podcast from. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can find the Grumpy Dungeon Masters streaming on Twitch TV Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. We are currently working our way through an honor mode run of Baldur's Gate 3, and look forward to, in some number of weeks in the new year, the distant future of 2026, the return of Grumpy Dungeon Master Christopher's D&D 5e game, Waterdeep Worldborn Dead.
Yay! Twitch is so much fun.
Oh, we always have a good time on Twitch. At least this time, you're not ruining Baldur's Gate for us, so that's nice.
Oh man, the game is just broken. Like there's so much just dumb shit you can do, and I find new shit every single time I play through it. Even when I'm not trying to start fights start. So
yeah, don't cast silence on other players if you're in the middle of your camp. Apparently, Scratch the dog does not like that.
it was just Scratch who didn't like it. Everyone else was cool with it.
He's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's
he knows you're up to no good.
He was dinner boy now. Oh man,
Terrible.
Well, it is a new year soon, hopefully. I'm worried where the next year's going to go. The algorithms have taken over. AI is everywhere. I know a lot of my friends have either landed in one of two camps. Either they all hate it with a passion, or they're embracing the change. And that comes from some of the artist friends of mine are doing that. They're using AI to interpret sketches that they throw in to kind of like change things around, and then they're going back and they're re-editing stuff. I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah, well, I mean, if AI is going to take over art in like 10 years, you're either going to be with it or you're not. So
you might as well feed it more art now. Yeah.
So that's the
spirit.
Thing. Yeah. Well, some people embrace the change, some people don't. I don't know.
Some people want to watch the world burn, some people don't.
Yeah. I had a very interesting experience with the algorithm here recently. I sent you guys an ad that I had gotten on Reddit, and it was sex is better with a bear. And then it had a squirrel image and then a bear image. Both of those images in the ad were assets from Baldur's Gate 3. And I could get up to 50% off if I went to the bear website and bought a bear mattress and used the code word Baldur's Gate at checkout. So the algorithm gave me that because I've been doing a lot of Baldur's Gate playing recently, and we were in the market for a new bed very recently as well too. So I'm assuming that's why I'm getting this ad. But I'm kind of worried that I'm also getting this ad. Like, did they license Baldur's Gate for this, or are they just stealing the work? Was this an AI ad targeted at me, or was it like just an algorithm. Like, and where does that line lie? I don't know. But
they did not license shit from Baldur's Gate.
so
just
how are they
took that
using?
work. Oh, I'm sorry. How are they using the work? They're scrubbing the internet, and then they're AI generating something that is slightly different. And if they send, if the developers of Baldur's Gate sends them a cease and desist, like, oh, we're not even using that. It's just a different asset, and they'll find out it's registered in the Bahamas, and they can't sue them anyway, and they'll move on.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be how this slow but sure takeover happens.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as sure as people think it is.
Well, I mean, with I'm just going to say the shortage of computer parts that's going to happen next year and everything, and the chaos that's going to stem from that, and the amazing cost increase that's happening. Who knows what will ultimately
Look,
be.
a few years ago, they were real sure that we were all going to be strapping augmented reality glasses to our faces and existing in Facebook's metaverse. So
the Y2K was going to be here, and
yeah,
end of the world. End of the world.
Yeah, withdraw all your money now, everybody.
The difference is this. It's like Y2K could have caused a big problem, and it didn't. A lot of coders spent a lot of time trying to figure it out and solve that problem before it became a big issue. And they did. However, with the AI thing, people see that there's a problem, but they're just going, who cares? And they're just going for it. And I don't know. It just feels different this time. It feels like it's actually going to lead to some issues.
Feels different when you're in the midst of it.
Listen, Y2K
eventually this bubble is going to pop, because that's what it is. It is a bubble. A few of these people will survive. A few places where there actually is a use case for AI will survive. And then everyone will be chasing whatever the next new cool tech thing is, man. When you're in the tech world, and you should know this, Chris, man, there's always some new hot bleeding edge thing that they're all trying to push and they want you to move to, and that's going to be the next big thing. It's just a constant thing in the tech world.
I got a question. Hold on. Was there a new Cyberpunk or Shadowrun release that came out this year that involves some sort of Game of the Year RPG release, or just I'm just trying to get us back on track to RPGs.
Well, yeah, let's not be a tech podcast. I could talk about this nonsense all the time, but sure.
Well, I'm just saying is, if you look into Cyberpunk future, the AI could develop mines that will destroy all of our shipping forever, or air drones that will kill us forever, and the games will all be AI. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see any of that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, and if anybody is not familiar with the Grumpy Dungeon Masters podcast, in addition to being extremely grumpy, Chris is actually also an incredible pessimist. And he always sees the darkest future possible. So we're here to offset that and find out the better things in the world. So does anybody want to go on what their Game of the Year of 2025 was?
Nice.
It's not really Game of the Year. It's tabletop related product of the year.
Sure, man.
I mean, no, that's legit. Like I did Bridgetown for mine a couple of years ago. It's not really a whole game. It's just a supplement type thing.
Yeah.
So it can be whatever you want. So who wants to start? I don't want to. I will if I have to, though.
I can, but mine is dumb, and I don't.
Well, that's why you should start.
You should start.
You know what? Yeah, let's start. Let's start in the darkness, and we'll end at the light. Come on.
All right. So I only like to go and choose products that I personally have purchased or have used in some way. I don't want to just go, oh, this thing over here is the best thing I've seen all year, but I never touched it, so I can't really say, hey, I used it. And of all the new things that came out this year, the new Monster Manual, the new supplements for Shadowdark, Christian, the almanac that you sent me, the Shadowdark almanac, I almost just changed it and said this is my product of the year, because I actually sat down and read it and found it was amazing. It was a great supplement for Shadowdark, but I felt like I needed to keep my original thing, and I'm going to say about my product of the year is going to be the new Dungeons and Dragons starter set that I got earlier in the year and actually played through completely with my Adventure League group people.
We just lost half our listeners.
What? On one hand, I have a lot of complaints about it. I felt like that there wasn't enough of a story to kind of go through it. It was too open world. At the same time, it didn't give you enough tools to explore that open world place. But I had my Goodman Games book that was the reprint of Keep on the Borderlands, which I was able to kind of use to supplement some of those things out. And I was able to kind of like lead the players to, an epic conclusion to at least that stage of the story. And I still have quite a bit of the environment left to pull from other sources to kind of fill out. So for all of its faults, the positive aspects of it, where you get all the tokens, you get all the item cards, you get like 50 maps, and just the things that they had put together for it, the balancing of the encounters. It is a starter adventure, but at the same time, it is very easy to just TPK the players right out of the gate. And
which is the Gygaxian tradition.
Right, which is the Gygaxian tradition, So at the end of the day, like I really kind of sat down and thought about it. I did compare it to the Stranger Things box set, which I think is a little bit better of a box set for me. I do just want to say I guess my product of the year would be that red box starter set. The Keep on the Borderlands re-release, essentially. I did quite enjoy it, and I have 15 players that played through it, and they all enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we talked about this whenever you first received it and went through it, and you complained that you thought that the fourth edition starter was better, and you thought that the fifth edition initial starter Fandelver was better for X, Y, and Z reasons. But now that you've actually played through it, what's your thoughts and comparisons to those starter sets as far as your players' enjoyment of it? Not necessarily how you felt it worked out as the DM, but how did your players enjoy it comparatively to how your players enjoyed those previous ones?
I felt like there was a lot more work I had to put into making this one viable.
Is that because you expect more of yourself now because you're more of a veteran DM now?
No, I there was, because everything was so kind of like just
I think
random.
It's because you're not accustomed to running those style of games.
Right.
And I think that's bad for a starter set. And I'm going to die on that hill. I don't think a starter set should be completely open, random everything. I think that if I would have given this to like my daughter who's trying to get into D&D, I don't think it would have worked. She would have just been overwhelmed by all the choices and things that could have happened and just faltered.
I think
I could be wrong.
I think you're underestimating the capabilities of children and their imaginations. I think that if you give some kids a couple of lists of things that could possibly happen around a corner and a couple of dice, they will expand upon that and create funny voices for the things that they end up encountering. And what could be in your mind, it's going to be 3d6 goblins around the corner. It could be 3d6 goblins around the corner in your daughter's mind, playing hopscotch. And the PCs have to have a game of hopscotch against them, and that's going to be the challenge rather than them throwing down with swords and bows.
Yeah.
You never underestimate the how different people are going to interpret things.
Right.
I also think new players and newer DMs don't have as much kind of built up. This is the kind of thing, they don't have as much built up experience that leads them to think in certain ways. You're really used to traditional 4E and 5E D&D, so coming across something new is kind of a reset. It's not that you can't handle it, but it's different from what you're used to. If somebody hasn't played any of it, they just take it as it comes and kind of roll with it and figure it out. And for those people, I think it can be a good starter because they don't have any sort of preset expectations or any built-in of this is how D&D is supposed to work.
Right. Like I said, I you know, I don't want to duplicate all my
Yeah.
counter arguments to that, but essentially, I think there's enough in that kit that I didn't get from even other kits. Like even like the Fandelver kit, you have to buy an expansion box to get, the token icons and shit like that. Um, but all the other extra things that you get that kind of like bridges the gap between a board game and a tabletop game while still being a core D&D game make this product really good. And I think it's definitely worth picking up. Even a veteran, I could still, say, hey, pick it up just for the maps alone, the item cards, the monster cards, I use the shit out of those monster cards.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first thing that I saw when I picked this thing up. I was like, this is a lot of value for actually the comparatively low cost that I paid for it.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot for my incredibly judgy ass attitude towards most WotC products, because they normally don't give you much for a lot of money. And this time for like what, $40 they gave you all of that, and it was a lot of really nice double-sided maps and all the tokens you needed, like cards for characters for all the spellcasters for first and second level spells, everything you could possibly freaking need. I mean,
Yeah.
and also handouts too, like props and
Mhm.
everything, which is just great for
Yep.
just picking up, like throwing down a game. And you were saying that you think that a novice player might, or DM might have trouble with this, but this is the type of game that, since it comes with everything with it, you could have just thrown out on the table, taken 10 minutes to flip through it and be like, okay, it's a whole bunch of random encounters, and basically there's pre-built characters here if we want to use it, and just literally run into it, roll through a game, and just go.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. You don't have to do much prep work, which is, honestly, a lot of what old school D&D was. Like, people like, hey guys, let's go over to my house to play D&D. It's like, monsters. What's on page 127? The Invisible Stalker. Okay, guys, your guys are in camp, and something just starts attacking Christian. I don't know what it is, but he's just getting stabbed. It's like, oh shit, what is going on? It's Invisible Stalker.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but we're gonna make up a reason why now.
So, like, ultimately, like I said, I really think that it was definitely the product of the year for me. I really think it really did. There is a lot there to make it useful. And the Stranger Things set is so close behind it, but it's very Stranger Things coded. And I swear to God, if there's not a dragon in the finale, I'm going to riot. I'll be so pissed. But yeah, I like the Stranger Things story and how that is laid out more. They're both very equivalent to box sets. I like the art better than Stranger Things, but since it's a D&D product, it wins out overall. And I'm really happy with it. I bought it twice. I bought one of the Stranger Thing ones, So, that's all. That's the best I could offer right now for this year, given the that I didn't buy the actual product of the year. My wife did, so I can't say that I can't have that one be my top end one.
Yeah, I'm going to
So
talk
who's
about that
choosing
same
that one?
Well, since we're already there, that would be me. So my product of the year would be the Crooked Moon role-playing game box set, whatever it was. For me, it was a box set. I know, Christian, I think you just got the book for it.
I just got the book, and I have regrets that I did not get the box set like you guys did.
And he didn't even get the good box set. I got the good box set sitting behind me.
Yeah, you got your wife got the really good box set. I got a good box set. Like mine, it's fucking fantastic. So Crooked Moon is a folk horror role-playing game using Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition rules. That would normally send me screaming because it's D&D 5e, and I have very little interest in D&D 5e at this point. They managed to sucker me in at the last second with a hell of a marketing blitz that actually got me, and I don't actually regret it. Like, this thing arrived. It is a fantastic box set. The book itself was the only fucking complaint I had because it's like 600 pages. It's fucking huge, which is going to make it kind of difficult when I go to run this thing.
Yeah, it's a hefty book.
It's a hefty book. Yeah. Everything's
is.
in there. All the subclasses, all the monsters, the entire adventure, all in one book. But that's my only complaint, literally out of the whole box set. It came with a cloth map. I got 2 sets of dice with this thing. I got the DM screen. I've got 3 card sets. One was NPCs and encounters, one is items and spells, and the other one is monsters and bosses. And I'm not going to go into that stuff again because we discussed it heavily when we talked about this a few months ago. But the fact that I was able to buy a set that actually has me wanting to run 5e, like that's impressive enough.
Yeah.
And like there's not a whole lot more to really say about it.
Well, I will
Yeah,
say
I'll
that
mention. No, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say that on our podcast chat channel on our Discord, you can kind of see the photos I took of it of the set my wife got, and she got the full bundle. It has different kind of box art than what Jay did, so the art is fantastic overall. The
Mhm.
tarot cards, the item cards, as you mentioned, the cloth map and everything. The pins. My wife loves pins, so she was so excited to get all those weird pins and everything. And the book is too massive, but at least I have 2 ribbons in mine where you only had 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the DM screen is fantastic, and the people that put it together, Legend of Evantress, that they're a great group of guys. I see their shorts and their videos all the time, and it definitely seems like they have a lot of good creative people running that, and it really is, like I said, because I didn't buy it is the only reason I did not make that my product of the year. All the individual items and stuff like that, you could just take any random card from like their monsters or NPCs or like or the tricks and like the special encounters decks. And you could run a whole campaign off of one of those. It's quite fantastic and very easy to kind of like integrate into your own game whenever you may need something kind of just a little off kilter. Like all of a sudden Ghost Train shows up. Okay, whatever. Here you go. So, Christian?
Yeah, no, I was saying I think physically just the things that they produced were great as far as the cards and dice and all that. And just as somebody like Jay that's kind of also pretty much past my 5e playing, this is something that still interests me, that this is a 5e game I would want to play in or run because it's just so well put together. And yeah, like you were saying, you could run this as a whole campaign, or you could easily take these out and run, one of the adventure chapters as a Halloween one shot, or
Yeah.
just throw in some of the monsters or some of the encounters for just something to do something a little off kilter, or if you get into an area of your game that you're already running where you want something a little creepy and weird. It's so useful and it's so well done and so creative. The monsters feel interesting to fight. They have notes about like things you can learn about them, signs that they might be around and what they might be doing. All the subclasses and stuff are very interesting and like are not just your rote, I give you temporary HP to teleport or I heal, like
Yeah, they took some
They-
risk. Like they actually took risk when making the subclasses and the races and everything,
Yeah.
which is something you do not get in normal 5e D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, hats off to these guys. It is a really well done product.
Yeah, I mean, and the art is beautiful, and coming from me, that's saying a lot because I am definitely an art nitpicker on stuff like this.
Yes. Snob.
I am. I fucking admit it happily. But
You
the
little
art's
bitch.
great. And the fact is with this box set, because I had started running the Caverns of Thracia for Dungeon Crawl Classics before I got this, and I received this thing. I looked through it. We did our coverage of it on the podcast a while back, and then I intentionally have buried this box on my shelf under a bunch of stuff. Because if I sit here and go through this thing over and over and actually start reading through it, I'm going to want to end my campaign and start running this. I know myself well enough. So I've just
Just
set this thing
integrate it
to
into Caverns of Thracia. It'll be fine.
yeah.
This is
Yeah, all of a
if you
sudden a
kill it,
ghost train.
Come
Come
on,
on.
Ghost Train
Yeah,
shows
you-
up. What's up, boys?
you segue into it. If you TPK your Caverns of Thracia crew,
That's
you'll
where they
segue
wind
to
up.
this.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ghost train shows up.
Yeah, a ghost train shows up. You don't know why, but you hop aboard for some reason. Oh, look, the rules have changed. We're not playing DCC anymore. Now we're doing 5e again. But
Honestly, and Christian kind of brought this up. Like, you could just keep playing DCC and use all the material that they gave you. Yeah, you might have to
okay,
adjust the monsters a little bit, but
I 100% could do that, except for the
You're lazy.
subclass. No, it's not that at all. It'd be fucking easy. But the subclasses are things that I like, and it's things my players would actually enjoy having access to, and that's not going to fly in DCC.
fair enough.
Yeah, that's the way I think I would run this. If you're going to run this, I'd be like, all right, everybody, picks what they want to run, but you have to pick the lineages and the subclasses from this book.
Yes.
We're going to run this stuff through.
Yeah, if you're going to be a subclass, you have to play it out of this book. If you're going to, any of the races have to be out of this book 100%, because it's built for that.
Yeah, I think that gives you the best experience, but yep, big fan.
So that's my product of the year. Who wants to go next? Christian or Dan?
Either one.
Well, all right, fine. Dan, you opened your mouth. I'll throw you on the spot.
Yeah. So my product of the year actually is Daggerheart.
Ooh, who didn't see that coming?
twist ending.
Is it a twist ending? I don't know.
Good thing I can't read.
Can't read or write. Yeah. So we've briefly talked on this. I think after Christian and I played Daggerheart at what was the name of the con we went to? Level Up Con.
Yeah, Level Up Games Con.
Yeah, it was fun. But I kind of delved into the book a little bit more after we went through and played it, and I think I actually like it even more now that I've read through the book a little bit more, because I had already owned the book for a little bit. I'd owned it since maybe Free RPG Day, where I picked it up for I think $40, which was in hindsight a hell of a deal. It was $40 for like a 300 something page book, 365 page book plus an entire stack of cards for the game, which includes I think 6 52 card decks.
Nice. It's a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Normally retails $60.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Free RPG Day we ended up getting some coupons or something like that, and I don't know. But I just want to read out a couple of things that kind of stuck out to me that we didn't mention. I don't think the first time we went over Daggerheart in the podcast. And this is kind of like just the introduction to Daggerheart from the very beginning of the book. Daggerheart is a heroic, narrative-focused experience that features combat as a prominent aspect of play. The system facilitates emotionally engaging, player-driven stories punctuated by exciting battles and harrowing challenges. The game takes a fiction-first approach, encouraging players and GMs to act in good faith with one another and focus on the story they're telling rather than the complexity of the mechanics. The rules provide structure when it's unclear how actions or moments will resolve within the story. The system takes a free-flowing approach to combat to avoid slowing the game down with granular rounds and doesn't rely on grid-based movement or maps or minis. Daggerheart also utilizes an asymmetrical design, meaning it plays differently for the GM than it does for the players. Players roll 2d12 for their PC standard actions, including their attacks, and the GM can make moves without dice most of the time, but they roll a d20 for adversary moves that require a roll. This asymmetrical design is intended to help all participants to contribute to a memorable experience for everyone at the table. So that just like paragraph and a half kind of explains to me in so many words exactly what you're getting with this game system. And it kind of since I really only just skimmed the book before we played this game, to me, this is kind of what D&D is for people who want to play a heroic game of D&D. Shadowdark is like that awesome dungeon delving, old school feeling of D&D. Like death is always right around the corner. This game system is like I feel like the game system that you want to be enacting like a cool story from like the Dragon Prince or Lord of the Rings or something like that, like shit that you can definitely do in D&D, but it's a whole lot fucking harder to make happen. And part of that is like it's where they said like it's narrative story approach, it's fiction first approach. And I've played some of these things that have been labeled quote unquote narrative focused and fiction first approach, and like things like Blades in the Dark. Have you guys played Blades in the Dark before?
Nope.
Yeah.
I heard that sigh. I heard it.
I found Blades in the
Yep.
Dark terribly boring. And if you were not the type of person who is always talking, you basically contributed nothing to every game session. And it was not great. Like the setting was cool. The game system, I don't even know why we had dice or character sheets for that matter. We had like dots, but the dots were less meaningful than like circa 1990s White Wolf character sheets.
Rules are made up, and points don't matter.
And that's what it felt like. But this one feels like somewhere in between like what they clearly intended with Blades in the Dark and then what they originally intended with D&D. And what I meant by when I kind of discovered some extra things in this first chapter, which I would say you normally don't find when you're looking through game books like this. People are always like, oh, here's my appendix N and the things that inspire me. Like, this one actually just calls out exactly where the fuck they took their mechanics from. Special appreciation and touchstones. Daggerheart derives inspiration from a variety of sources. Below is an abridged list of media the design team drew from while crafting this game. The Genesis system from Fantasy Flight Games was a major inspiration for the 2-axis results of duality dice. Okay, that makes sense. Cipher system from Monty Cook Games. Christian, you're familiar with this one. GM intrusions pave the way for spending fear to interrupt a scene. Makes sense. Among many other things, WotC's Dungeons & Dragons advantage-disadvantage system was particularly inspirational in the dice mechanics of the game. Because, of course, they have advantage and disadvantage in this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're adding a d6 or subtracting a d6. 13th Age from Pelgrane Games built backgrounds. Blades in the Dark from Evil Hat helped shape the narrative flow of the game. Wild Sea from Mythopia Games and its phenomenal selection of reaches provided inspiration for the campaign frame. WotC's design of Dungeons & Dragons 4th Edition and the monster design of Flee Mortals Flee from MCDM informed the enemy types and ways of managing minions. Basically bringing back the minion aspect that Waples loved so much from 4th Edition, which honestly I found was the only redeemable portion of 4th Edition. They basically managed to bring back into this game system because it does make for a heroic combat. Because if you're just slaughtering minions, you have the feeling of being a hero, but still being, a dude. And then they mentioned a couple of other ones that I'm not really familiar with, but they actually just call out literally the mechanics, not just, hey, I was inspired by, Tolkien and stuff, which is kind of what you get from the Appendix M. Tolkien and Edgar Rice Burroughs and Robert E. Howard clearly inspired me. And
Frank Frazetta art.
Yeah, obviously. And
I noticed when you called one of your playable races hobbits that you might have been inspired by someone.
Yeah, no shit, no shit. But the other things I kind of, when going through here, I'm just gonna, and I know we gotta get to Christians, and then he has some special stuff for his approach for game of the year. But some of the things I really liked were the way of building the characters. And what I really liked about it is that though they only have quote unquote 9 character classes, the way they set it up is that you could very easily take the domains, because essentially you have overlapping domains in the different character classes. So like a warrior has let's see here, has Blade and Bone as his starting domains, which overlaps with like Ranger and also I think Seraph. But if you wanted to adapt your system to, let's say, Lord of the Rings, or like Middle Earth role playing, or wanted to do Dragonlance, or put this into Planescape or whatever, you could change whatever you're calling these different classes, or basically just take 2 domains and jam them together and make a brand new class without actually having to literally create something, and essentially the mechanics and the balance of the class is already made because the domains are basically all balanced. It doesn't matter which 2 domains you choose. So long as you have 2 domains, you're basically creating a new character class if it's not one that already is already there. And I imagine whenever they start creating, additional books for this game, that's kind of what they're going to do.
Well, they have
Um,
announced they are making their first expansion book, which is they actually have an open playtesting site where you can go and see all the stuff they're playtesting, and the classes they're playtesting now are like the assassin and the warlock and the witch.
Which
um,
sorry.
and I will say that I really love the art. I really love just the variety of design. It has a lot of the art that I liked back in 3rd edition. I don't know if you guys remember back in 3rd edition D&D, they had like these very sketchy art that also was interspersed with like the really high quality, Larry Elmore style paintings. But there's a whole bunch of like just clearly just work taken out of like their artists' sketchbooks. Like, here's a drawing from the Wanderborn. This is a mushroom village, and it has like just really cool little sketches of a mushroom village, and then above it is like a painting of that. But it's like it's a later version of it. And it's just really cool that they kind of included all this sort of things in here. So it's like it really does feel like you're looking through an artist's sketchbook as they're musing on how these things are going to look.
Hmm.
Some of the things I really liked, and Christian and I kind of got to experience this whenever we did that one shot at the con. Is some of the special action roles, like tag team roles and group action roles. Those were really interesting to execute and didn't require you to have like, I don't know, in order to do something like that in like Pathfinder, you'd have to have everyone has to take like, what is it, a team feat or something like that in order to make it
Teamwork
work.
feat, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be right next to each other. You have to have a teamwork feat, and it's like, who the fuck has time to have that kind of synergy? And like, no, you spend meta currency and you do it. Um, and there's the other thing that I think I already kind of discussed that really felt different than D&D is that you never felt as a player, you never felt that you weren't doing anything. Like nothing is worse when you're playing D&D and you got one attack. You roll the die, you roll a 2. 20 minutes till your next turn. You get his coffee. You come back.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Okay, roll the die, roll that one. All right, I'm going to take a piss. Oh, I took 12 points of damage? Okay. All right. 20 minutes go later. All right, guys. This is me. I'm going to roll. Roll the 15. Does that hit? No, 16's AC. God damn it. Here, you never really have to have that happen because there's always something going on because of the duality dice. Because you have a D12, different color die for hope and a different color die for fear. And there is basically a 92% chance that the hope or the fear die will be higher than the other, because if you hit the 8.33% chance that the dice are the same, that's a crit success. So you're either gaining hope, which means you're going to get some momentum and you can describe something cool that happens, or you push the guy back as you strike him, or even if you miss on that hope die, you still push him back and he maybe has disadvantage whenever he tries to swing at you next. Like it's something that like you're engaged no matter what. So like you don't want to get up and go get that coffee. You don't want to get up from the table or look down at your phone and play fucking Pokemon Go. Like it's something that you want to actually be playing the game because there's always something happening involving your character. And that I felt that was just so much more different than just D&D, which is just it's a roll of the die, and if you rolled shitty, too fucking bad. And like even still, like a medium die roll in this game is a DC 10, and a DC 10 on a 2D12 is a 75% chance. So if you have a +1, so like you're pretty much going to succeed fairly frequently. Whether you succeed well, who knows? But you basically have the 5 outcomes. You got succeed with fear, succeed with hope, fail with fear, fail with hope, and then critical success, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
the whole Daggerheart system sounds a lot like the Fantasy Flight system that they had for their Star Wars game.
Mhm.
And they drew a lot of
based on
inspiration.
Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah. So, to me, it just sounds like that again. And it was a lot of fun to play that,
Yeah, and there were other things I really liked about it. I like the lack of initiative tracker. Basically, like if your players are on a hot streak where they're rolling and not hitting any fear dice, they could just mop the floor with a bunch of NPCs. Or if they roll a whole lot of fear dice and the enemies or fail and fear, the enemies are going to keep on interrupting. Things are going to go bad really quickly. Like it can change on the turn of a dime, which is also really freaking interesting.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing, and this is something that goes back to, this isn't the first game to do it, but this first thing that's done it in, I guess, the 2020s that I can remember. But armor mitigates damage. It doesn't prevent you from taking damage, which is, it's soak basically. But it's a limited resource still. So it doesn't prevent you from getting hit, which I never thought it should, and it's always kind of bugged me in D&D. That's what it is, but it's just how we learn to play. So who the fuck cares? But it's just one of those things. And the last great thing that I really like about it is death moves, which I think Chris, you kind of mentioned the whole, what was it, the heroic round or something like that the other day. But you've got when you drop, you can either choose avoid death. You can try to avoid death and face the consequences of what that might mean. Going unconscious, work with the GM, describe how the situation is going to worsen. You could end up just gaining a scar. You could end up dying. You could risk it all. You could either stay on your feet and keep going, or cross over and die trying. Basically, either roll hope or fear, depending on what you get. You can either basically continue to fight on, or just choose to embrace death, go at a blaze of glory, and critically succeed on whatever the fuck you're trying to do, and then you die. And I love that. And I've always loved that. And that's, again, not the first game to do this. First time I ever saw this was, I think, in Rollmaster in the early 90s. The Paladin had the Retributive Strike. Basically, he makes his last stand, and he, calls upon his god, and he sacrifices himself to slay the big demon or devil or lich or whatever the fuck it is. And honestly, the only thing that I did not like about Daggerheart that I went through here, and it kind of still bugs me, and I'm not sure why they did it this way. The way they do their equipment. I don't know if you guys have looked at these tables.
I have.
Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 weapons. So you've got just like broadsword. Then you have Tier 2 weapons. Improved broadsword. Tier 3 weapons. Advanced broadsword. Tier 4 weapons. Legendary broadsword. And they do a D8 plus 3, a D8 plus 6, D8 plus 9. That's what they do.
The broadsword's the best weapon ever to exist ever. Fight me.
Part of the problem with that.
So here's the problem though. It's like they're still just a fucking broadsword. Like they have a table of magic items. Why are you changing the broad? Like there's so many different things they could have done if they couldn't make the math work. Why are you changing the weapon? Like maybe the warrior with his blade domain increases his damage with his broadsword because he has specialization. But why are you? I feel like I'm picking up at something in Diablo 2.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. It felt very video gamey, and that is my biggest complaint with Daggerheart is that equipment thing. And I'm glad you brought that up.
The armor's the same way.
The damage system is the biggest complaint I have from what I know about the game. I haven't read through the book, but I kind of understand how the damage works. Whereas the maximum damage you're basically going to ever do is 3 points. So if you have this broadsword that deals a D8 plus 9, you still aren't ever going to do more than 3 points. And that just seems, I don't know. I understand the idea of wanting to keep the numbers low, but if you have to create a damage system to operate with another damage system to figure out what you do.
I think there was a more elegant way of doing it too.
Yeah,
Jay, I think you could have done it even without actually even rolling damage, if like just it's difference between the dice or something like that.
Yeah, it would have been a better method.
but I feel like they really wanted to draw in the people who are coming from D&D, and people coming from D&D want to roll the dex. They want to know their broadsword is a D8.
Yeah,
They
but if
do.
you're gonna do that, just have it do normal dice, give them more hit points, be done with it.
Yeah, I get I kind of see where they're coming from. It was, it's not as elegant as I would like it, as most of the rest of the system is, but it's kind
Yeah.
of a minor quibble. Once you actually get to playing it, you get through it pretty quick.
Yeah, I imagine it, like once you're actually playing it, it's something you can just ignore. It's just one of those metagaming thing that where it's like you're never going to call your broadsword the legendary broads. Give me my legendary broadsword. Now it's just still a broadsword. It's just in
I
my
just don't know
hands.
why they
It's
didn't.
in my hands. It's a fucking legendary broadsword.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just keep the damage system from the Genesis system since they were already copying most of it. Anyways, I liked it a lot better, but it's too much to get into right now. I'm just saying is
Yeah.
I really like that system, and no one else did.
I mean, and plenty of people did. A lot of people
Yeah.
played it.
I know one of our
Very
buddies.
popular.
Yeah, one of our buddies, Joe, I think, played the hell out of that
It was his
system.
favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
Absolutely.
loved it.
So, all right. Well, moving on. Christian, up to you.
All right. Yeah, I kind of so this actually made me kind of think because I didn't have like a clear, what was going to be my best, because I got several things that I quite liked this year. Some of them very late in the year, in fact. But I'll mention a couple of the things that were on my short list before getting to it. Crooked Moon was on there, but I knew you were going to pick it, so I knew I didn't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that has been a constant companion of mine since I am currently running Shadowdark is during Zine Month. One of the Michael Putlick, the assistant librarian, the only other employee of the Arcane Library on a part-time basis, did a book called Creating and Adapting Monsters for Shadowdark.
Right. Yeah.
And that is fantastic. It is super useful. It's got its own little mini bestiary in there to kind of show you examples of stuff, but then it's got a whole lot of like breaks down like, hey, here's every monster power, monster spell, monster thing that is listed in the Shadowdark core rules for you to choose from if you want to create, monsters from abilities and things that are already in the book. Here's how you can kind of look at
so
a
basically
different...
he did what they used to do back in the 3rd edition of D&D, where they basically gave you the big list of a monster abilities and say, this is how you build a monster and how powerful it ends up being based upon what's in this monster manual, but they never really repeat it again past 3rd edition for some odd reason.
Yeah,
okay, that's awesome.
It's a fantastic resource. It's something because I am not running a standard Shadow, because I'm running Planescape, so I am adapting lots of things from D&D 2nd edition. So that thing has been on my desk ever since I got it, essentially. And I use it every day. So that's
Awesome.
definitely one of the ones. There's one I only got a digital copy of, a thing I got that I regret not getting the physical copy of. And this is another thing that came out of Zine Month. And it's called Tales from Volksgrad. And this is by, let me see if I can get up to his name. I'm going to butcher the name. Leander Derstein. He's a German author and artist. And this is a cool little city supplement in a zine that he did all the art for, and all the art looks almost like a slightly more cartoony version of what you would find on like medieval tapestries.
All right.
Cool.
So it's a very cool little zine. I wish I had gotten the physical copy of it, because it's fantastic. And then what I ultimately ended up settling on, and I got this pretty late in the year. I wasn't sure I was going to actually come in for me this year, but I got the Dolmenwood books.
Ah, okay.
And that is my product of the year. Dolmenwood is fantastic.
I've heard a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, it is one of those things that a lot of people, and it does kind of live up to the hype. If you want a really good old school kind of D&D, it's basically old school essentials. It's a slightly tweaked version of it. It gives you slightly different rules.
Is
But
it a game into itself, or is it just a setting?
it is a setting that you could play easily use. In fact, I know a lot of people were playing it using Shadowdark. And before it came out, the full stuff, several people played through it using just old school essentials.
Okay.
But
Cool.
it does actually have its own kind of rule system, which is pretty much just old school essentials, which is BX D&D, with slightly different classes and a inventory slot system for inventory for your gear.
All right.
But it is a hex crawl setting. It has one of the best monster books I have ever encountered. I love its monster book.
Is it the art, or is it just the description, or what is it?
The art is great. Everything has a description.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, there's a description on everything. There is art for everything, but everything also has something like little lists under it. Like, in addition to, you get your normal stats and stuff, you get, the description of what their abilities do, but then you get stuff like, if I'm looking at the, let me find a weird one here. If I'm looking at Fomorian, it gives you a list of possible mutations they might have, traits they might have, layers that you might find them in, and encounters like it is clinging to a giant earthworm as it blindly burrows through the earth at top speed.
What the fuck?
Out of control, the worm
Hell
periodically
yes.
bursts to the surface, mouth agape. So they all have encounters, like things you can, like when you come across this monster, if you just roll this monster, what might it be doing? Like if you could roll a random encounter and get like a ghoul and be like, okay, well my random encounter is a ghoul. Well, this gives you could then pull this and go, okay, well what is the ghoul doing? Oh, it is digging up bodies at the side of a mass grave. It actually
Awesome.
entreats passerbys to help them in exchange for the corpse's possessions.
Well, all right then.
So you could encounter a ghoul instead of just attacking it. It says, hey, help me dig up these bodies. I'll give you the stuff off the body and I'll eat the body.
I think there's
Yeah,
an
there
actual
will be no
Fallout.
evidence.
I think there's an actual random Fallout 3 encounter, if I remember correctly.
That's great.
So yeah, it's a really good monster book. Interesting monsters that
Now,
all have
sorry, is it one book or is it multiple books?
It is multiple books, unlike some of these other. Now, one of the books, the campaign book, that contains the hex crawl and descriptions of all the hexes, and all the factions, is still a massive book, clocking in at 560 pages or 460 pages.
Wow.
But you also have the monster book, which is its own book. And I love that they make great use of the end papers in doing like encounters. And this monster book, unlike modern D&D, does include rules for how do you build a monster. How do you
Ah,
create your own
Yay!
monster?
useful stuff for
It's a
new
trade
DMs.
secret you're not allowed to.
And then it has the player's book, which contains all the rules you need to create characters and run the game and, have adventures and all the spells and magic and equipment and services, all that kind of stuff.
Well, all right then.
All the
good shit.
kindreds, which are what it uses, which are different kind of takes that you would normally. You get to choose from Breggle, elves, grimalkins, humans, mosslings, and woodgrews.
Did I hear you say Fraggles?
No,
Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Breggle.
Oh, okay.
They're
It
goat
sounded
people.
okay. Sounded like Fraggles.
Yeah, but the classes are all neat. You get bard, cleric, enchanter, fighter, friar, hunter, knight, magician, and thief.
Lots of the classics. Always a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, they're interesting spins on them. Like your hunters are kind of rangers, but guess what? They have no magic.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
I know, it's great. They don't have to cast spells. They just
I cast Hunter's Mark. I do it again.
yeah. No, they do have a cool thing where they can pick something that they have slain recently as a trophy, and they get a bonus to attack rolls, saving throws, and reaction rolls. The old school reaction rolls on creatures of that type if you're carrying a trophy around of it.
That's one way to do favorite enemy.
All right, so I have a giant's toe on me. Let's do this.
Don't make me bring up the mud I used to play.
But just
Lord.
the production quality of these books is amazing. There's a series of adventures that go along with them too. They're all in A5 size, and I got a couple of those that are fantastic. There's a giant hex crawl wood, the wood of Dolmen Wood that is described. It gives you a bunch of factions that exist in the wood, and instead of running like this is a storyline of things you have to do, you're meant to run it as a hex crawl, and all the factions give you they all have goals and things that they will be doing, and it's who do you want to support? How do you want to get involved with?
Yep.
Depending on who you get involved with, your gameplay may vary dramatically, because they all have kind of intersecting goals and different alliances, and some of them have an alliance on the surface, but down in the below there's an NPC that's part of that faction that really means to betray somebody, and there's a whole lot of interaction in there that makes this just a thing that I would really want to play in or run.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Sounds like a game I'd be interested in. Yeah.
Yes. No, it's so well done.
Yeah, I've like I said, I've seen a lot of the other people online talking about this game, but somehow it just sort of slipped by me.
Me too, Jay. Me too, man. I didn't even hear about it until like a week ago. And then it started appearing everywhere.
I had heard the name earlier this year, but that was the extent of it. I just assumed
I thought it was like a sequel to Humblewood or something. I don't know. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Whatever.
Yeah,
something about talking birds.
So
I was kind of on the same train. Yeah.
It's from Gavin Norman and Necrotic Gnome, which is the company behind Old School Essentials.
Okay.
Oh, so that's why they're able to just basically use the old school set. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
It's their group. It's them that do, and so I guess he started it out as a series of blog posts and then zines he made that were called Wormskin. And he did this on his I guess his Patreon and blogs and such, and then developed to the point where he decided to turn it into a thing and did a Kickstarter on it. And I did not catch the Kickstarter in time. I saw someone talk about it. Oh, I saw the guys on the podcast and live play 3D6 Down the Line, who are fantastic, by the way. They did the guy that usually runs their games, I think John, did a run through of the books of once he got the PDFs. That's what sold me on it. As I saw that, I was like, okay, this looks really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the thing. I might have to try to pick up a copy at some point. I've been meaning to pick up the Old School Essentials stuff for several years now, and at some point soon I'm going to have to because the Tomb of Geisengax, which is on the boat being shipped to America. I backed that Kickstarter, and I backed the OSE version of it, and I still don't even own OSE.
Oh
well, you'll be pretty readily familiar. OSE is just a kind of a cleaned up version of BX.
Yeah, right. I mean, I could probably just run it without any of the rules. But it'd still be nice to have all that stuff.
They are in April. Necrotic Noon is doing a Old School Essentials Month campaign on BackerKit, where they are going to put out 2 new editions of their rule books for Old School Essentials. And also doing their newest expansion, which is their Demonic Grimoire, which is going to be all things fiendish and lower planner.
I love that it's right after Gary Con.
Yeah.
when I'm going to have all this money.
So yeah, I know I will be heading out of the country, but I will probably grab that since I am running Planescape, and that is always that kind of stuff's always right up my alley.
No.
I know.
What? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going to the Abyss in Shadowdark immediately at level 2.
Yep. You'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Soul get ripped up for the Blood War. It's hard to know. Hard to know.
I can't wait for you guys to become a part of the Blood War. That's going to be wonderful.
Won't take long.
Nope. Become minions.
Well, so Christian kind of went through a couple runners up. Do you guys have any other like honorable mentions?
I mean, for me, yeah, Caverns of Thracia has been really good for Dungeon Crawl Classics. I did pick it up. I got the physical copies this year, and I've been running it for several months now. Dan, what did you have?
Let's see. My runners up. I mean, I guess since we're not doing like officially Game of the Year, I would say the newest edition of Knock, Knock 5, Old School Gaming Bric-a-Brac.
Yeah.
It's got
That's
a
weird.
lot of great articles in it. The art in it's always fantastic. And I just kind of love everything that is in it. Like everything's very short in it. A lot of it is literally just freaking tables. And like we're up just chit chatting and gaming at night. I will oftentimes just kind of reach over, grab a copy of Knock, and just read a couple pages in between games. It's always chuckling at some of the stuff that's in there. That would definitely be a good runner up. The latest Cursed Scroll that came out. Not Cursed Scroll 6, Cursed Scroll 4. I thought was really good.
Which
The
one was
jungle
4?
one?
Oh God, I forgot
The
about
River
it.
of Night, the jungle.
Yeah, the one that came out in around GaryCon one. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was a PDF though. Like I haven't.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring up either of those. I like both of the ones that we've gotten in PDF, but I don't have a physical copy yet, and they're not fully released, so I didn't
All right.
include this.
If we aren't including PDFs, then I'll say Luke Gygax's World of Ikorum, Wrath of the Sea Lich, which I just received last week. I've had the PDF for about a month or so, and this is actually based on Luke's world that he started writing maybe a decade ago. And you know the legends in what's it called, the Legends of Gaming event that he runs at GaryCon every year, or somebody runs at GaryCon every year.
Yeah.
So I found out after I picked this up that actually these are all modules based upon the modules that he has written and run for those convention games, because those are like 4 sessions of games for that he's been running at the convention. So this is like the first one that he's converted, because I think previously it was for 5e, and before that it might have been for second edition or something like that. But this one he converted over to Shadowdark because he thought this was the closest thing that he conceived his world to be. So, but it's got excellent art. It's got really cool hex scrolls in it. It's got a lot of Gygax family inside jokes in it. It's just a nice little A5 book that's the same size as your Shadowdark book, and I really like that. And I have not looked through it yet, so I too much at least. But Christian got for me from Christmas an excellent book, as I understand it, called The Monster Overhaul. If you guys haven't seen it yet,
I'm not.
A Practical Bestiary by Skirbles, but I'm not sure it came out this year. I'm guessing it didn't.
It did not. It's been out for a little bit.
2023.
Yeah.
But it is fairly new and apparently very hard to find, because I saw it up on one of the RPG auctions the other day for like $150. I'm like, holy shit. But it is a bunch of tables of all kinds of stuff that you might happen to need while running a game. Fall random encounters, 1d100 devils, stats and motivations for a cherub, or a demigod, or a 1d20 dark riddles, a manticore, a Medusa, and also the family that lives with her, a zombie dragon, like the ethereal dragon, and then the special creatures that are hunting it, like D100 goblins, and along with their names and motivations and distinctions. Like, This thing is just filled with all kinds of fun shit. Like, on the back of it says, "What's a sphinx without a riddle, or a minotaur without a labyrinth, or a dragon without a hoard, or a peasant without a grievance?" The Monster Overhaul is a massive role-playing game bestiary designed for at-table utility. Monsters are presented alongside useful tools ready for immediate use in any scenario. So this kind of goes back to what we were saying towards the beginning of the podcast, where you can literally just kind of pick up from wherever and not have anything planned and say like, I don't know, there's some goblins ahead. What are they doing? Hold on a second, roll D100. Apparently they're knitting. Just gotta go from there.
I love it. You know me, random tables, weird shit like that. I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I would definitely keep if I was running a bunch of in-person games that have at next to my table. And since I'm primarily these days run online, I will keep it in the bookshelf right next to me, along with all my 5 copies of Knock, and everything else is just filled with tables of random bullshit that I might need at any given moment if I can't think of something.
Yep.
Yeah, I only got the most recent copy of Knock, but the next time they run stuff, I will probably pick up the rest of them because it was a really good book.
It's a really good book, and I went ahead and bought the rest of them because if I'm paying shipping from France for a single book, I might as well pay it for all of them.
Yeah.
Not going to
Now you
really
gotta
be that
pay
much more
more.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now it is.
Well, yeah,
When
but
you
not.
got it now.
I mean, if
Yeah.
if they ship them as a lot, it won't be really that much more expensive. But
Yeah.
all right. Well,
But I had 2 runners up I wanted to mention.
yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
So when we were at Gary Con this year, I picked up the Terrors on the Orient Express Call of Cthulhu box set thing.
Mhm.
But that's not what I want. I did also buy the Gary Con exclusive Call of Cthulhu module called The Madness at Geneva Lake.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
and-
yeah. That Luke
Hey,
Luke
okay.
co-wrote.
So Chris, I love that this is being brought up because the story that I have to tell ties into that.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
We didn't even
So-
plan this, so it works out great.
So that's the runner up. So before I really get into that, I really don't have much to get into it. I read through it. I liked it a lot. I don't
Mhm.
want to talk about it much because it does kind of spoil a lot, but I thought that was a fantastic little tiny module to run. And another runner-up thing is something I posted a link to this in our podcast chat on Discord, but you can also find it. It's a Kickstarter called Pinup Monster Girls.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's a monster manual with pinup monster girls drawn in very, pinup
Yes.
girl style. And my wife saw that, and she bought it immediately. And she's only got the PDF of it, but the book is shipping and it's, on the ships kind of thing. So I'm considering it gotten. But again, it's not mine, so it can never be product of the year for me. But I love that book, and I have gone through it. And
And he
looked at
doesn't
some
even
of-
have the physical copy that's stuck together yet.
and just the fact that my wife bought it's like, well, I got this for us.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I love that book. I love the art of it, and little more risque, but I fucking
No, it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool,
Okay.
baby. It's cool.
It's cool. It's all cool. So me and my buddy Mike, we were playing Trivial Pursuit Dungeons and Dragons recently, and we came across a couple of really odd questions that I did not know the answers to because I was not aware of this shit. And me and Dan, we talked about it briefly, where apparently years ago, TSR, before they went out of business, one of their stupid purchases was to buy a God, what do they call that? Not knitting.
Cross stitch company.
Thank you. Yeah, they bought a cross stitch company that
Yep.
apparently the owner was a relation of the Blooms.
Yeah, the Blooms. That's what it was. Yeah. I knew it was one of those in charge, but I don't think I knew it wasn't a Gygax.
No. But that was a neat little fact. But the other one that we came across, so I'm going to read you a little article. It's a short article from Gazette Extra. And if I start telling this story and you know it, please don't spoil it.
Okay.
So one of the most famous shipwrecks in Geneva Lake was the Lucius Newberry. Built in 1875, the side wheel passenger steamer was 115 feet long and could carry 700 passengers.
You said steamer.
I did.
Eh.
It was considered one of Lake Geneva's most luxurious excursion vessels, with decor that included crystal and brass fixtures and even oil paintings. At 4 a.m. on December 9th, 1891, the Lucius Newberry, tied to the dock, caught fire and couldn't be put out. The harbor master, not wanting to risk the fire spreading, cut the vessel's lines loose and let it float out into Geneva Bay, where it sunk. In July 1981, the Lucius Newberry was found by accident and salvaged by a group of local divers. The city would not support their salvage operations. There were repeated incidents of threats by the salvage crew to ward off any other bounty hunters. Caitlin Zant, a maritime archaeologist with the Wisconsin Historical Society, said the Lucius Newberry's machinery, including paddle wheels and all remaining fixtures, were taken up from the site. During her dive in the area, a video was taken of the shipwreck showing the ghostly lines of the vessel encrusted in mussels. Today, it lies in 75 feet of water, broken up, Zant said. You can still see the vessel's planning and upright stem post. So that article's from 2016. I was looking for more information about this for a specific reason, and I came across it in the Story of TSR Silver Anniversary Edition. Dan, you might have a copy of this.
I actually do. Yeah.
Yeah. So on page 13, in 1982, as a philanthropic gesture toward the city, TSR funded a salvage operation for Lucius Newberry, a 115-foot passenger steamship that sank on Lake Geneva in 1891. Unfortunately, very little was found other than the ship's badly corroded boiler, and no artifacts were ever put on display.
There's a
So
ghost in there.
the
I
only
remember
thing...
hearing about this when visiting a museum in Lake Geneva.
Oh, okay. I did not remember that story. That's I found this out. That was actually one of the questions from the Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
trivia.
it's a deep cut.
Oh yeah. I never would have known about that. Sometimes I come across gems in the trivia game, and then I have to go fucking dive in and what the hell is this about? How did this happen? So yeah, just more stupid things that TSR did that helped to put them out of business and get them sold off to Wizards of the Coast.
Well, let's give a shout out to that Lake Geneva Museum as well too. That was a lot of fun to kind of go through that. And
yeah, we still haven't gotten her on here. I lost the contact information, of course, but
John has it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
We'll get it.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear all of the stories she had to tell about all the artists who lived up there.
Yeah, like that museum was worth it. Like I kind of just want to plan a getaway up to Lake Geneva, just as a vacation, if I can convince my wife to, endure the cold,
I mean, that's where all the mobsters used to go.
I mean, you go there on vacation in the summer. Waples, don't go in the winter. What are you doing? Don't take her in the winter.
Don't listen to them. Go in the shoulder season. Go in the off season.
You take them up there at December when it's cold as hell. You do that.
Actually, they're probably pretty busy in December, to be honest. There's a lot of ski lodges up there.
That's true.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go in there like March.
No, God no.
Like that.
I don't know. I kind of do.
Yeah. Just don't. Yeah, you don't want to go on vacation up there the same weekend as Gary Con because it's kind of busy.
You might run into Hulk Hogan or something. Oh, wait a minute.
Not anymore. No. Too soon, or too late. I don't know. One of those.
Soon.
So, are we going to talk about Psyonix tonight, or
I
think there was a new release that I was going to have as one of my top 3 for the game of the year. I think it's like involving like some sort of alien psionica based abilities.
After all this time, we're finally
can you bring that in here? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Bring it
we'll
over
get right on it.